Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Django Jax, and as you can see, this video is going to be about the Antminer K7, right? So I'm going to give you my honest opinion about this ASIC. And I mean, I haven't tested a lot of ASICs, right? Because I just have the one. I have the one L7. So we'll be comparing the L7 to the K7. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Like, would I buy a K7? So I didn't buy this, okay? And I don't get to keep it either. It's not free. I was just sent it by Endless Mining. He's letting me borrow it for a couple of days just so I can test it out, review it. So yeah, not sponsored anyway. And if I think this thing sucks, then I'll tell you that. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think about ASICs in general, because I think there's a lot of pros to ASICs, but I think there's a lot of cons as well. And obviously I think there's way more cons, and that's why I have GPUs, but I'll try and be as unbiased as possible. I think I can do a pretty good job of that. But I'm excited to go plug this in. So let's take this down to the data center and plug it in, because I mean, that's one of the cons right there. These are super annoying to run at home. So I'm not even gonna run it here. I'm just gonna take it down, and then I'll be able to run some side-by-side tests with this L7, and we'll let you know what I think about this. Before I head down to the data center though, you should head on over to DeFiDjango.com. That is where I'm selling my merch, and I just dropped a brand new design. I try and come out with one design every month, and I dropped March's design, only a couple days ago, but it's a 3080 Ti with a Flux capacitor on it. It is so cool. One of my favorite designs I've ever done. It's based on a Founders Edition, and at the top it's got, a Flux capacitor, right? Obviously from Back to the Future. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard of the Flux crypto. I thought of the Flux capacitor, and I've had this idea for months. I can't believe no one thought of it. I don't know, was I the only one? But yeah, I got the 88 miles per hour on there, the plutonium. Obviously you got to hash at 88 sols or higher to go back in time and get that Flux super cheap. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I have it on a shirt, and I also have it on a poster. And I added a bunch of my designs to posters, in case you guys got too many shirts and you wanted to just hang up some cool art. It's super cool. The posters are superb quality. Like, I ordered a ton of test prints so I could get the best paper. It's like matte, like the black is like black. It's so black. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the design. If you think it's cool, that's awesome. Check it out. If you want to buy one, buy one. If not, that's cool too. Let me know what April's design should be. I'm almost thinking like a Kaspa design. But I don't know, I'm open to anything. I mean, there's lots of, I gotta come up with one design every month. But let's head down into the data center and let's get into this video. As you can see, I'm not at the data center. I made a last-minute decision to stay home for a few extra days. So I took this K7 over to my mining room and got it hooked up. Now, ASICs are really easy to set up if you didn't know. You just kind of plug them in, connect them to Ethernet, hit the IP button, and get the IP address and connect to the pool. I connected to F2 pool just because it's the biggest one, and I've never used F2 pool, so I thought I would check it out. And I'm only gonna mine on this for like 3 days, so I'm not really trying to maximize my profits here. Right? I'm just trying to test it out, and because you only need to test out for a day or two to know if you want to buy it, right? And that's all I needed to do this review. The number one thing that surprised me about it though is how quiet it is. It's hashing away, and let me tell you, it's a lot quieter than I thought it was going to be. It's actually way quiet. It's way quieter than the L7. The L7 is like loud, like a normal ASIC. It's louder than the Mystic Miner cases, but the Mystic Miner cases are louder than the K7. I actually couldn't even hear it over the 16 cases that were blaring right in front of me. So that's pretty cool. If you were going to run this at home, that might be a huge pro. The K7 might be a huge pro just because of how quiet it is. The K7 is a CKB miner, right? Nervos. Nervos. The Nervos network. Sorry, if it wasn't obvious, I don't know a whole lot about the Nervos network. I did a brief search into it. It looks like it's kind of a little bit of combination of they're a layer 1, so they're kind of a competitor to Ethereum, but they're kind of based on the Bitcoin consensus. So it's a little bit like Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. It came out a few years ago. They didn't really do that big during the last bull run, but I think they were doing a lot of building and focusing on that. So like I said, I spent like 30 minutes looking into this. And usually I like to spend days or if not weeks looking into a project. So I'm not qualified to give an opinion on the Nervos network. I'm not bullish on it. I'm not bearish on it either. I assume if you're buying this K7 that you're you like the Nervos network, like you're bullish on it, right? Because why would you buy a Nervos network miner if you weren't bullish on the project? It's weird. It's like, why would you buy a D9 if you weren't bullish on Dash? It doesn't make sense to me. The only reason I bought my L7 is because I like Litecoin and I like Dogecoin, right? So, and I think it's pretty future-proof. Like Litecoin's OG, Dogecoin's OG, and Dogecoin is popular every cycle, guys. It was popular 4 years ago during the last pump. It was wildly popular this time. It's crazy. It's gonna be popular again. That's the only thing that I'm sure of. So that's one of the reasons that went into my decision is I know that the future of my L7 is pretty safe. I mean, the only thing I feel like that's safer than the L7 is an S19, right? Because Bitcoin miner, because Bitcoin is Bitcoin. But that's something to take into account. So if you're not like bullish on the CKB, then don't buy this, right? Obviously. The algorithm that CKB uses is called Eagle Song, and really the Nervos network is the only coin of note that's on that algorithm, right? So for example, on the L7, it runs script, and you can mine Litecoin, Dogecoin, Digibyte, and there's several others. Those are just the 3 biggest. And like on the E9, you can mine Ethereum Classic, you can mine ETH, and there's a couple others. Even on the S19, you can mine Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. I don't know why you'd mine those, but and there's a bunch of other ones as well. So it's like you have a little bit of options, right? You know, nowhere compared to like a GPU, but there's a little bit of options. And I'll tell you why that's important, because on the L7, Litecoin has a halvening, okay? Litecoin has a halvening coming up in July, just a couple months. The profitability on the Litecoin side of it is going to be cut in half. Now, on the L7, 80% of the profitability is from Dogecoin. So really, the profitability of the L7 is really affected by Doge. So if Doge goes down, then the profitability goes way down. So 20% of the profits are affected by Litecoin, and when that Litecoin halving gets cut in half, I'm going to go from that 20% down to 10%, get cut in half on that side of it. But I can dual mine Digibyte and Dogecoin. And Digibyte doesn't have a halvening. It just goes down by 1% every month until it's fully mined. So, and actually last month it was more profitable to dual mine Digibyte and Dogecoin. So the halvening doesn't affect the profitability of the L7. That's the kind of nice thing about being able to mine script versus Eagle Song. And you really should take that with a grain of salt, because, like I said, it doesn't really play a huge factor in it, but it is just something to look at. I'm just bringing it to your attention. If we go on to ASICminervalue.com, we can see here that the most profitable miners to mine is the D9, which is the Dash miner. And then we have the L7, and then if we just combine all those L7 miners into one, we'll just take the top one, the 9.5 gigahash version. Right after that, it's the KA3, and then it's the K7. So it is currently the 4th biggest ASIC as far as value profitability goes. And this is just based on 10 cents per kilowatt. You're gonna have to adjust it to your own electric rate. But I think it's pretty good. It makes about $10 a day after electric. That's kind of where you want to be at. I'm really happy with the L7. It says it's currently making $11 something cents a day. The K7 makes about $9.34 a day. Let's just round that up to $10 just for the ease of it, okay? And so at $10 a day in profit, you're going to be making about $300 a month. Now this unit on Endless Mining costs $6,800. You can shop around for it. I think that Endless Mining's prices are pretty competitive. I've looked around. Their pricing is pretty good. $6,800. That means at $300 a month, it'll take you roughly 22 months to ROI. And that's at $10. Just remember, this makes $9.34 at the time of filming. And that's if the price doesn't go up or down, right? And that's and also if the network difficulty doesn't go up and down. You know, as more of these sell, the net rate just grows, all right? The total hash rate just grows. So that's pretty on par. I feel like that's kind of high usually. I think I like to be around the 18-month ROI, but it doesn't always work out like that, right? Because, you know, prices change and stuff happens. And so the ROI never is exact, but 22 months is pretty good. I think that usually you want to be within the 18 to 24 month that range. And so, yeah, it's right there. But here's something you got to take into account, okay? CKB has a halvening coming up in 8 months. The profits are going to be cut in half in 8 months. 8 months into your 22-month ROI, your profits are going to be cut in half. Instead of $300 a day, you're going to be making $150 a day. You have to take that into account when you're purchasing this, okay? Now, if you're bullish, I mean, if you're buying this, you're obviously bullish on the Nervos network. And so do you think the price will double in 8 months? Or, you know, during the price of the next bull run, what do you think the price is going to be at? If you think it's going to be high, then maybe buy it. I don't know. This is really geared, the K7 is really geared toward, you know, if you're a lover of the Nervos network. And if you're really bullish on it, it could do really good. If the Nervos network does really good, the K7 will be worth more money than it is now, and then you can sell it and turn a profit. That's one of the reasons I don't like ASICs, is because they don't really hold their value that well. And when new machines come out, the value of the old model is either goes to zero or is significantly decreased because of it. And you never know with Bitmain what they're developing or when the next one's coming out. That's something to take into consideration. So it's like maybe it's better to wait till the price of the K7 comes down, because at $7,000, I mean, it's basically $7,000. That's kind of expensive. Maybe around the $5,000 mark, it would be way more appealing. But I think that with the fact of that halving coming up, that has to play a huge role. For me, it plays a huge role. So again, I'd like to reiterate that I don't have an opinion on the Nervos network, okay? Because I haven't done a lot of research into it, so I'm neither bullish or bearish. But I would not be buying this machine just because of that reason alone, and because of the halving coming up. If Dogecoin had a halving in 8 months, I would not be buying another L7. Okay, to put it that way. I'm not being biased against the Nervos network. Okay. If I was going to be buying another ASICS, the most appealing one to me is definitely another L7. I would buy another L7. If I wasn't buying an L7, the only other one that I would buy is a Bitcoin ASIC in S19. And I'm going to film a ASIC versus GPU video in a couple days, so I'll go over that. It'll be like a two-parter video. But what do you guys think? Would you guys buy the K7? Are you guys investing in the Nervos network? Let me know. Do you guys think it's worthy of my time to look into it further? I don't know if the audience is, you guys are super into it, but I mean, I'm down to do the research and check it out. Maybe you'll make a Nervos networkite out of me. I don't know. Well, that is the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in a couple days in my next video.